So you've been thinking about getting a budget wireless microphone system. Stay tuned for my review of the Phenyx Pro Wireless Microphone System. Hey guys, thanks for watching Church Talk. My name is Rob, and today I'm talking about the Phenyx Pro Wireless Microphone System. I want to give my review on that system. We've used it a few times now, and I want to let you guys know my experience and what I think of those microphones. First off, talk about the pros before the cons. Number one is build quality. It feels really good in your hand. It's made of metal. It's not made of plastic. It's heavy, so it has a really good feel to it when you're holding it. It doesn't feel like a toy. It has some beef to it, it feels like. The sound, they sound pretty good. I can't say that it's comparable to the more expensive units, but for the amount that you pay, it sounds pretty good. I guess the final pro that I'm going to say is the price point. They're pretty cheap. You can buy 4 of them in one head unit, a 4-channel, and for the price, they're pretty hard to beat. You can find them on Amazon. I'll put a link in the description if you want to check it out. But the cons that I have found, and this in some churches and some applications, this won't matter. In our application, it's beginning to matter a lot more. You don't have a way that doesn't allow you to change the channels on your frequency. So whatever it is set for, it pairs up, and that's the frequency that it chooses, and that's the frequency that it's on. It's locked in. You can't go in and change that. So if you're starting to have interference from other microphones, if you're beginning to get in a crowded space with your wireless gear, or maybe not a crowded space, but just a crowded, your area is getting crowded with wireless equipment. You have a lot of wireless signals. You can't change them. They are what they are. Now, if this is the only one that you're using, you're not going to have any problem with that. So if you're a smaller church and you just need 2 or 4, maybe six microphones, you're good to go. But if you're a bigger ministry or you have a lot more wireless gear, I would not recommend this one for that purpose. At least what we have. Ours is older. It's probably, I'm going to say, at least 5 years old, and so that's what I have found. All right, one of the other cons that I will say is the dropouts. We had an outdoor event at our church last year for Easter, and we used these microphones outside. They worked great for a while, but what began to happen was they kept dropping in and out. They were only about 15 feet from the unit head, so I don't really know what was going on, with the exception of maybe we had some interference. They were the only 4 microphones that we were using, so there shouldn't have been interference, but there may have been within our area. So you kind of have to look at, when you go with a wireless system, you have to look at your area and see what type of frequencies and what bandwidth you need to be in. And it's possible that these things just they're just locked into a frequency that was giving us issues. But we did use them for a extended amount of time during our remodel in our church, in our sanctuary, and they worked great for us. They were about 10 feet away from the head, and they worked fine. They didn't give us any problems whatsoever. But when we were outside, they tend to drop quite a bit. But that's pretty much the main con that I had, was that you can't change the channel on them. Besides that, they're pretty good system. I would recommend them, just like I was talking about the GTD. These are great mics for like a youth ministry. They feel pretty rugged. I think if you would drop one of them, I think that it would probably hold up and wouldn't break, but we haven't dropped any of them as far as I know. But that's pretty much my review and my history with the Phenyx Pro. They feel good, they sound good, and they're cheap. So I would suggest a Phenyx Pro system if you only have very small amount or very few microphones. You get into a crowded wireless space, I do not recommend them at that point. To be honest, any wireless gear, I wouldn't recommend any of the cheaper units. I would go with a tried and true. In wireless, the old saying, you get what you pay for, is very true. You will get what you pay for in wireless gear. So for the main church or the main microphones, I would always recommend, the whatever brand that you like, Sennheisers, the Sures, things of that nature. But the Phenyx Pros, they do work well, they do feel well, they sound pretty good, but there are some drawbacks to them as well. And those drawbacks can be large drawbacks when they begin to arise in your setup and in your application. Then they can be pretty bad. But if you're just going to use a few of them, especially if it's in a youth group or something, these mics are great for that. I think as long as you don't, like I say, as long as you don't have a whole lot of wireless gear, you should be good with these mics. But let me know what you think. Maybe if you've used some of these Phenyx Pros before, and what your opinion and what your experience is. My experience has been a good and bad, and I think the good outweighs the bad, but the bad was pretty bad when they kept dropping out, and just it's one of those things to where you kind of outweigh the pros and the cons, and if one con outweighs the four pros, then it's that's kind of where we are for me on the Phenyx Pro. So I would recommend them in a small setting on a small budget, but if it were me and I had the choice between a good, just a Shure SM58, that tried and true old microphone that's on a wire, I would use it rather than the cordless if I could, or rather than the wireless if I could. But if you have to go, if you're really needing to be on a wireless system, the Phenyx Pro is a good choice for you on a budget. But just be expecting some issues, because everything has its issue, but the cheaper units have more issues than those more expensive units do. So check it out. If this fits one of the applications that you need, there's an affiliate link in the description where it doesn't cost you any more. It does give us just a little bit of commission on it and helps out the channel. Or you can go to robandjen.com, and on there I have a list of links as well that you can see that all the different things that we use on a weekly basis that I've found to be pretty good quality. And I'm going to do a review of all those as well. Everything that I have a link on our site, I'm going to do a review on that, and just to share our experiences and what is happening with us on a weekly basis, whether it's maybe something that we're doing wrong that you can tell me and say, hey, this is the fix for that. It's operator error. That would be great. But I mean, we're not having a lot of issues, but sometimes there's some issues that arise, and I want to let you guys know about what we're finding out with some of the equipment that we have. So if you're looking at purchasing the same thing, then maybe you have a heads up and you can do some research and find out, is it something that's happening a lot, or is it something I need to steer clear from? So if you go to robandjen.com, you can see our church talk. All of our gear and stuff is on there. If you like any of it, it's available for purchase. Helps out the channel a little bit, and you can also see the affiliate links that we have there that like I say, gives us a little bit of commission on it and doesn't cost you any more. So if that's something that you're going to buy anyway, or you're looking at doing, it just helps us a little bit. So if it's the type of content that you like, make sure you hit the like button, the subscribe, and hit the bell as well, so you'll be notified of when I upload new videos. And we'll see you guys next time on Church Talk. God bless.